Greetings, YouTube. It's 54 degrees outside right now, and tomorrow it's going to be 90. New England. English does not have a proper gender-neutral pronoun. People have attempted to adopt it in the past. There are people who use gender-neutral pronouns now in an attempt to present the listener with a term that will not divulge what the gender is of the person they are discussing, because the person may not want their gender discussed, or because the discusser themselves doesn't want to present a slanted view of the individual they're discussing. Excuse me. You can say they or them, but that can be awkward at best, I think, and potentially derogatory, or it can also be a real tell if you're using the word they or them. An astute listener may be able to figure out, they may be discussing someone of the same gender as the speaker. Now, this has an impact on my life because my ex-wife is trans, born and lived as a female. I married my ex as a female. We were divorced as a female, but my ex is currently living as a male. Through his own choice, does it very well. If you met my ex, you would have absolutely no idea that my ex was ever female. He does not appear to be female in any way. We have been in public together in the past, and people have thought it was just two dudes out to have a steak. But I often find myself in conversations where, you talk about your past. I mention my ex-wife. And how do I refer to my ex-wife? My ex-wife is a man. I am a heterosexual male. I never married a man. But my ex-wife is a man. So our language creates a stumbling block for me. There is no gender-neutral pronoun for me to use to describe the situation, which is awkward and a little frustrating, and can kind of lead to very complex conversations, and sometimes I have to give explanations to things that I don't necessarily want to give explanations to someone that I don't necessarily think needs to know that my ex-wife is a male. The problem is that I don't think that English is going to adopt a gender-neutral pronoun anytime in the near future. I just don't think it's going to happen. English speakers, particularly in America, find them awkward. I know they don't come to mind when I'm speaking. It isn't something that trips off my tongue, but it does mean that people who don't want to present themselves to the world as male or female have a problem. There's an issue. There's a linguistic barrier to the way they want to present themselves to the world. It's not fair, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. I know that at least one of my subscribers deals with this on a regular basis. I know I have stumbled over their gender issues just because the language I'm using, I see someone, they've set themselves in a visual way that makes me think of a particular gender. That is how I react. And I know I apologize to the person, but we carry artifacts with us. Some of them are from our past, some of them are built into the language. I will probably always think of people as he and him and her and she, and I will probably never easily use completely gender-neutral pronouns. They're always going to sound artificial in my head and on my tongue. I will say they or them. I will try to avoid it. That's just a smidge derogatory in my book. So what do you do when you're presented with a situation where you don't know the gender of a person? And particularly, you run into that in comments on the internet constantly. I mean, sometimes people reveal to you through their speech patterns and their language use what gender they may be, but it isn't always correct. And even on a video like this, while I'm presenting you with an extremely male look, there are many people that present themselves on YouTube videos where it's difficult to tell. and it's their right to present themselves in a manner that you cannot easily discern. And I have no desire to step upon that right. But our language creates barriers sometimes. It's a pity. It's annoying. It's an artifact of the past, maybe. I just don't see it altering all that quickly. So what do when you want to say they or them, but don't want to have to say they or them?